Welcome to Light Listening. Today we're going to talk about something very weird. Two things in the title that don't really match up, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are we talking about today?
Cigarette and chocolate milk.
Yeah. Do you like cigarettes? Do you like chocolate milk? If so, we have a song for you.
Oh.
Yeah. Cigarettes and Chocolate Milk is by Rufus Wainwright from his 2001 album Poses. And we're going to talk about it today. We have some interesting things to talk about how the music doesn't move the way that a normal song would go. And we found it interesting, so we wanted to share it with you. We're not going to play any music on the show, so go ahead and go take a listen to the song and then meet us back here for our conversation. So speaking of vices, as the good people out there know, anyone who's ever watched this channel, I have a series called Talking Tsundoku Blues. So I would say that my number one vice is perhaps tsundoku, which is a Japanese word that means you buy books, way more books than you can ever read. And so I'm always buying books, and I guess it applies to music too. I'm always buying music.
Collector.
Is there a word for tsundoku for music?
No.
No. You buy more music than you could ever hope to listen to.
That's just...
I put it in the same kind of category, like... Anyway.
I mean, like, books take a long time to read,
Yeah.
so it's understandable.
They pile up quickly.
If you do that for, like, music, that's
No,
like...
I mean, I listen to all of the
my
music,
gosh.
but it's like once you have a huge collection, it's hard to get back to.
There's something with your greed, you know?
Well, anyway, what vice would you say?
I don't know. What would you say? I can't think. Like I'm sure
Coffee?
I have one, but I don't really know.
I mean, you crave like senbei sometimes. Do you know what senbei is?
That's true. Like when I'm stressed, like my go-to is binge watching Netflix and then binge eating of senbei. That's my thing.
Yeah, so maybe your vice is senbei.
Senbei. Okay, senbei and
Chocolate
not
milk.
chocolate. Yes, this is a really catchy song. I think
it is.
It just stays like right now. It's playing in my head. Yeah, the piano is very catchy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, when we one of our last videos, 2 videos back, we did the Rabbit in Your Headlights by Uncle, and we kind of jokingly talked about waltz songs, and I mentioned Elliott Smith and Rufus Wainwright, and after we made that video, I started thinking about Rufus Wainwright, like what's a waltzy Rufus Wainwright song? And I was like, Cigarettes and Chocolate Milk, and then I was like, maybe we should do a video about it.
That's why you said that. Okay.
Yeah, because I was thinking about
Okay, well, this
waltz
is
songs.
4. This is not waltz.
This song is in 4/4?
Yeah.
You're kidding me.
No, and I didn't realize that. I thought that's a commonality. No. 2, 3, 4.
I feel so betrayed. No, I thought it was like doom, 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 doom.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay.
1, 2, yeah.
I guess he just plays it like a waltz. I don't know. It has that kind of like waltzy quality, I thought. Man, I'm so wrong.
Yeah. The biggest impression that this song can give you is that flip side. It's really like the coin's flip side. That like bright da 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 becomes the it depicts the
reverse
other side, and it's really kind of like a painting or metaphor or like it's like a lot of thing in art, like, well, there's this side, but then there's another side of me or another side of, I guess it's like two-face.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's very much well done in music, and it's kind of funny, and this like that tune is like kind of like very childish. That kind of tune.
Yeah.
That's why it kind of makes it kind of funny, because he would suggest this dark side. Yeah.
It's funny, like, we didn't talk about this before we sat down to do this video, but what you're saying fits exactly with what I wanted to say.
Oh, okay.
Which is, especially, you said like an art portrait or something.
Yeah.
I was thinking that this song is a very excellent portrait of Rufus Wainwright. Like, if you were going to do a portrait of yourself, like a self-portrait, like what medium would you choose? Would you choose photography? Would you choose, like portrait painting? Or I felt like he chose this song to really show like the two sides of his. He kind of grapples with addiction and he grapples with who he is, and I think that this song is really, really, really well made, both lyrically and musically, to show that duality of the light and the dark.
Yeah.
Not even really the light so much, it's because even the light has like this hint of like going too far.
Yeah.
But it does start very innocent, and then it becomes quite dark.
Yeah, I can kind of see like when it switches to the dark side. I can kind of like I kind of keep imagining this like animation of this boy like going and then like a little bit this, a little bit that, and then just like boom, and then just like he's like walking under the sun like really happily, but then storm comes all of a sudden, and then the whole picture becomes very
like
dark
gray
and he becomes like this like evil thinking,
Jekyll and Hyde.
Yeah. I for some reason I keep imagining the animation in my head.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say that the opening piano it seems almost like a children's song.
Yeah.
It
It's
really
like does.
It's almost like a like a nursery rhyme, or that kind of like a little kind of whimsical.
Yeah.
And then I always say that the middle of this song, or I don't know if it's the bridge, but anyway, the part where there's an instrumental breakdown and the piano becomes very complicated, and that part always reminds me of Danny Elfman. It's like it's like an over the top kind of because Rufus Wainwright always has like this cabaret, or like he's written operas. Like he really knows classical music, and he's an incredible musician. But he brings that theatricality into a lot of his music. But I like that animation. I mean, the music kind of leads to that. It's very cinematic in some ways.
Yeah.
I really like it when the whole song kind of explodes into that weird like Danny Elfman like.
Yeah.
There's like I think it's an oboe and like lots of strings. Everything kind of comes in all of a sudden, and it makes that kind of nightmare world.
Yeah, very theatrical.
Yeah, very much.
Do you feel a little like sarcasm in the music?
In the music?
Yeah.
Because I'm not qualified. No comment. That's more your department than my department. Sarcasm in the lyrics maybe, but sarcasm in the music, I can't speak to that.
I kept feeling this like a little like irony or like sarcasm, like like in that kind of like a kid kind of tune with this theatrical like this huge thing, and just talking about cigarette and chocolate milk.
You mean he's being kind of ironic, or he's being kind of like insincere?
No, he's just kind of making fun of himself, I guess.
Making fun of himself, sure. Yeah. I guess so. I can see that. But musically,
by being like overly dramatic. Which I'm not criticizing. I think that's the charm of this song.
Rufus Wainwright is always overly dramatic.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, that's one of the reasons that I can't really get into his music. I appreciate him, but his music is always so like maximalist, over the top. Like all instruments are put in there, and all the songs are quite long, and he's always over the top.
Okay.
And so I feel like this song is actually a good like intro to his music, because it's actually toned down compared to some of his other songs.
Yeah, I kind of get that idea. Do you want to talk about the words?
Well, yeah. Now that you're saying, the irony and the kind of sarcasm, I just like how he paints himself. Cigarettes and chocolate milk. These are just a couple of my cravings. Everything it seems I like's a little bit stronger, a little bit thicker, a little bit harmful for me. And then I love this line. He says, "If I should buy jelly beans, have to eat them all in just one sitting," which I can relate to that.
I'm eating sembe.
Yeah. I was reading the book on Nirvana, "Come As You Are," the newer one, that the annotated "Come As You Are," or rather the amplified "Come As You Are." And it was talking about how Kurt Cobain he couldn't just take one like painkiller.
Yeah.
He would take like the entire bottle of pills. Like he was a gobbler.
Yeah.
And I feel like there are people like that.
Yes.
You know, everybody has their vices.
This really reminded me of you.
Yeah.
Because you make the coffee a little bit stronger, and then you want the beer a little bit more.
You have a couple extra.
It's just that's enough.
When you should stop, yeah. There's no moderation. It's all or nothing.
Yeah.
Well, you had said something interesting a few days ago when we talked about this song, and you had said this is very American. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Well, I mean, that's that American attitude. Like, you guys want just a little bit more, and I mean...
A little bit more.
That's why they're serving, you know, portion at restaurants, or, you know, anything is like bigger than what you really need. And then it's actually cheaper to get the bigger one sometimes.
Right.
So like
Supersize.
you feel like you want a little bit bigger, a little bit more, and then there's more sugar.
Yeah.
You don't really need that much sugar, but you put it anyways.
Buy one, get two free.
Yeah, and that's like American attitude. So I can see like how American people have that kind of attitude to just in general to live.
Yeah, like Americans are always eating, you know, pizza and hamburgers and chocolate milk and things like that, like their whole lives.
Yeah, even though it's like food and drink for kids.
Even though it's kind of like it's childish. Yeah. So anyway, I thought that was kind of interesting from a Japanese perspective.
Yeah. So like you'd feel like you want like this like grown-ups flavor, like cigarettes and beer and you know some other things that I shouldn't be talking about, but but then like what you guys always go back to is that pizza and chocolate milk,
comfort food, and the things from childhood.
The kids thing, which is like just
the kids'
so funny.
meal. Yeah. Okay. I don't want to talk about every single lyric, but when verse number 3 comes in and the music shifts, and I think they call it a modulation. Is that right?
Sure.
It modulates.
Modulation. Okay.
Is that right? That's what I read. I'm not even sure what that means.
I've been away from music for a long time.
Okay.
I don't remember.
We have no idea what we're talking about.
Yeah.
That was the last time with Weezer too. We couldn't explain it.
What's
a key of the song? We just do such a bad job. Why do we have a YouTube channel? That's okay. No one's watching anyway. Anyway, on verse 3, he says, and then there's those other things, which for several reasons we won't mention. Everything about them is a little bit stranger, a little bit harder, a little bit deadly. And I take that to mean probably drugs, possibly other things that Rufus Wainwright, he has a lot of his addictions. Right after this album came out and he started touring, he I think in the same year he entered rehab for the first time. And he was addicted to meth. Methamphetamine, ecstasy. He was just he's a gobbler. And so I assume that's what he's talking about at this point. So anyway, that part is all minor key. It becomes kind of spooky.
Yeah.
And then he switches back after the chorus. He switches back, and then this is very interesting. He said it goes back to major, and he says, "Sitting here remembering me," which I couldn't find anything online about this, but I kind of thought this is almost like his perspective of like looking back on his life, almost as if he was dead or something. Like sitting here remembering me, like I'm sitting here remembering the person who's passed away, or
or before these problems,
or when he was younger and more innocent, maybe, like who he used to be. But regardless, I had this kind of like this really kind of dark feeling, but then I absolutely love this line. He says, "Sitting here remembering me, always been a shoe made for the city."
Yeah, what does that mean? I didn't get that.
I love this. Because what does it mean, right?
Yeah.
The first thing I thought of was these boots are made for walking, and that's just what they'll do. The Nancy Sinatra song. Sure. I thought maybe he was like making a reference to Nancy Sinatra's "Boots Are Made for Walking" because he can't keep a relationship and he keeps leaving. But also, a shoe made for the city, meaning he can't take the tough, hard life. He's a softie. He's it's like the mountain bike versus the street bike. He can't. He's not a hiking boot. He's not a.
I see. Got
he's
it.
delicate.
Yeah.
And he's he's a rich kid and he's sensitive.
Yeah, and yet
he's going around
pretty fortunate and comfortable.
Right, pretty fortunate and comfortable, but he's leading himself into these kind of darker situations.
You get it. Yeah.
Yeah. And also, it takes a lot of sentimental Valium. So obviously, he's feeling sad. He's feeling, kind of dark about his past. So he's taking Valium. But also, one interesting thing is Valium is Diazepam. And Diazepam is often taken by people who are going through drug withdrawal, and to lessen the symptoms of withdrawal, or to try to kick, hard drugs. And so I thought that was also interesting because it's an anti-anxiety medication, but it's also commonly used for addicts who are trying to get clean.
I see.
And so I thought that was an interesting turn of phrase there. During the bridge, he says, "Still, there's not a show on my back." Which I assume he means there's a drug slang, monkey on your back.
Oh.
If you have a monkey on your back, it means you're addicted to something.
Okay.
And the monkey, of course, meaning the circus or the show.
Oh, I see.
So I thought that was also very clever. Still, there's not a show on my back. Holes or a friendly intervention. Holes, I assume, meaning heroin.
I see.
And then he says, "I'm just a little bit heiress, a little bit Irish, a little bit Tower of Pisa whenever I see you. So please be kind if I'm a mess." And I want to talk about this just for a minute. Heiress, of course, meaning someone who is going to inherit a lot of money, or who's the heir to a fortune. But of course, Rufus Wainwright being gay, he should say heir, but he says heiress.
I see.
But what's interesting about this is Rufus Wainwright's father's side. His father was a folk singer, and his mother as well. But on his father's side, he's the great, I'm not sure how many greats, grandson of the governor of New Amsterdam, which became New York City. So he's from, American aristocratic blood on his father's side. He's carrying the weight of that, the family. And then he says a little bit Irish because his mother, who was from Canada, she was of Irish descent, and she was also a folk singer. So I thought that was kind of interesting. And then I love how he says, "I'm a little bit Tower of Pisa whenever I see you."
Yeah, what does that mean?
The leaning Tower of Pisa. So he's he's leaning,
Like almost like passing out then?
Like he's drugged out of his brains. And so, please be kind if I'm a mess. Right. So he's lost. He's
but he
barely
said
hanging
still
on.
there's not a show on my back.
No, he's using drugs.
He's clean.
No, I think he doesn't have an addiction, but he's using.
Okay.
He's using. But he's not quite there yet. Because the monkey on the back would mean he can't stop. So I think he likes to hope that...
Okay.
He's hoping that he'll be able to stop.
Oh, I thought he was clean.
No, I don't think so.
bad.
I don't think so.
Okay. See, I still think this song is very, sarcastic. Like, he's making fun of himself.
I'm sure he's... Yeah.
He's aware that he's, fortunate enough, and he doesn't have to be a mess. He doesn't have to be, an addict, and... But he is.
But he's still playing in that.
Sometimes, people do this. Like, people don't even have to, go to that direction and be a victim of it. But, because of the fortunate circumstances, they sometimes just seek for the hardship.
Right.
Yeah.
It's slumming it, or whatever. Yeah. Yeah, sure. I mean, it could be that. Obviously he's playing, he's playing this role. He's playing this character. But I do think it is a portrait of himself, even if it's kind of sarcastic, tongue-in-cheek wordplay and all that. Do you want to talk about the music and what's going on there? Or do you have anything else?
No. Yeah, sure.
Okay. Let's go to the piano.
Yeah, so I think the original song is not in this key, but I use the more simplified key, which is this.
Can you say what the original key was versus what this is?
I'm sorry, I didn't even bother.
Oh, you don't know what the original was? Okay.
But I think
Please leave a comment.
It was, I think it had 4 sharps maybe.
Okay.
It was more, yeah.
So what is this key
This
then?
is C.
C, okay.
But C is usually this, So, no. It's pretty complicated being like this, silly song, but it doesn't go like this.
Yeah.
It's which this D.
C and D should.
Yeah, the chord C doesn't include
Right,
D,
right.
but you put it in because that's what you can do.
Yeah. I guess that's what gives it that little dissonant.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think that's why this is really, it shows, musically, it shows the two sides of him.
Rufus? Yeah.
Yes. Because these really shouldn't be together. It's not a pretty one.
I see. Right.
You see, the next stage, the close neighbor doesn't ever sound good.
Right.
This too, but
Yeah,
somehow it works. I don't know why. This should be like here too, which is G7.
Okay.
But it's not because he has to put this.
Right. It's always kind of like ruining it a little bit.
Yeah,
or
so
it's
I
kind
guess
of like messing with it a little bit.
Yeah, so that's why like rhythm too, but also the sound wise, it kind of sounds like the child playing bad piano.
Oh, like somebody like hitting the wrong note
Yeah,
or something.
it kinda,
Okay, sure.
the childishness.
Yeah,
comes
I
in
see.
in
I
my
see.
mind.
That's
Yeah.
interesting.
It's like,
Yeah, the chopsticks.
Yeah.
Yeah. I see. Yeah.
This kind of sound. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, and then and then,
Yeah.
and then
So that's G.
no.
No, I'm sorry. I thought it wasn't it
G related, but a
G.
little more complicated
Oh, sorry.
than just
It looked
the
like
standard
Oh, I'm
G.
sorry. Got some dissonance there. That too.
And then the dark side becomes its minor.
So this is verse 3. Yeah. Yeah.
And so like
The modulation, maybe? You were not
Right,
sure
right,
about
right.
that, but yeah.
this is a major C major, but then
Right.
C minor it goes like this.
Yeah.
The second this E becomes flat.
Is that the only difference? That's what is making it minor? I mean, he's not actually moving the like it's still C, but it's C minor now instead of C major. Okay.
Yeah, because I mean, if the chord C itself it moves, then it becomes like really sound like a different song. So
I wasn't sure.
The funny part is it's still C, but it just becomes
Yeah,
So it's,
that's interesting. It's just enough,
weird.
just subtle enough.
Yeah.
I see.
And that's a clever thing to do. It's like the two sides of the C.
Yeah. Yes.
It's do you find it interesting that the chord becomes major and minor and it gives you a different impression even though it's really the same?
I mean, I don't know much about music, the technicalities of music or music theory, but I think that's rare and very interesting. I know some songs do shift from major to minor, or there are some songs that change a key. And I find those kinds of songs to be very interesting. And I think way back in the day when I listened to this song, I mean, I always really enjoyed it. I enjoyed the music, but I didn't know why. I wasn't thinking about major and minor and those kind of details. I was just thinking, like, this is a very interesting song.
Yeah. Well, for those who don't really pay attention to the songs, like, this doesn't usually happen,
Right.
Usually, like, verse and chorus, it just keeps the same chords.
Yeah, or it'll
First time,
stay
second
major,
time.
or it'll stay minor throughout, right?
I mean, it just doesn't, the chords just don't change.
Right, I see.
So this memorable, like, how it starts is very memorable melody and how it goes of this song, and then it kind of like it has the different version of it like that into the minor, and which actually makes me think of classical music because I feel like classical music does a lot of that, the variation.
Yeah.
It changes the key and it does the same move or that kind of thing. Like I can see that, but you don't do that much in the popular music.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, he's making a pop song, but he's putting these details in that are very complicated and much There's much more going on than your typical
Yeah,
pop
it's
song.
interesting. Yeah. Yeah, so I hope that you enjoyed this discussion and you have your own thoughts and feelings about this song. And I hope that you will share that on the comments and let us know what you think.
Please give us a comment. We're dying for some comments.
Yeah, so yeah, we enjoyed it too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, please tell us what your vices are.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm very curious.
Okay. Thank you so much for watching.
Yeah, thank you very much.